So the FedEx guy or gal dropped off a package for me. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got. A box inside a box, and it is the Impact LX25 Plus. We've got a nice looking box here. Let's take a look inside and see what is contained. So we've got a standard USB cable here, and it looks like we've got some paperwork here. We've got a registration card for Bitwig, a paper manual, which I like. This is a lot better than reading a PDF. And the keyboard itself feels pretty good, looks good. We've got 8 pads, 25 keys, pitch and mod wheels, transport controls. We've got 8 pots. Everything looks in order here. So let's actually get this set up and briefly go over some of the features and functions that are available with this device. Okay, let us now take a closer look at the Impact LX25 Plus, and we're going to start from the right, but I'm sure you can notice here, if you have seen the initial model, the LX25, we do have some more LEDs, some more lights on the board here on the drum pad, as well as here for the mixer instrument and preset area. This is going to help us see immediately which mode we are actually in. But as I said, we're going to start from the right, and we have clips and scenes buttons right here. These also have LEDs as well. This is a bit beyond the scope of this overview. These are going to function a bit differently depending on which DAW you are using the LX25 with. Now for the pads, we do have 4 different pad maps, and these LEDs are actually going to function not only to kind of give you a display when you are depressing a pad, but they're also going to show you which map you are actually on. So if I hold down Shift, this is pad map 1, the LEDs are green. If I hold down Shift, select pad map 2, they're orange. The pad maps are listed down below, and we choose between the bottom 4 here. So if I hold down Shift and choose 3, then we can see we've got a yellow, and pad map 4 is red. I'll go ahead and Shift, press pad map 1 to take that back. Now by default, these are going to be mapped chromatically starting on C1. So if I were to open up Impact within Studio One here, then press the pad here. Let me actually direct the MIDI towards the Impact. Then we can see C1 is here, C#1. I'm not sure why Impact starts on B0, but we can easily remap these by just clicking and selecting in the trigger area here, and then pressing a key, and that will remap. And I'll go ahead and close out the Impact. Next in line, we have transport controls. So I can press play to start playback. We've got record, stop, rewind, or fast forward and rewind. This is going to be on bar by default. We then have loop to toggle loop on and off there. And then below that, we have additional controls that we can access by holding down the Shift. So by holding Shift, we can change the mode, turn click on and off, undo, set left and right loop locators, if I can talk here. And then this other one is for taking the song position playback cursor back to the beginning of our song. Just above that, we have 8 pots or 8 rotary knobs that we can use to adjust things like the faders within our mixing console. So if I F3 and bring up the mixer, these start with 1 and move on through 8. So if I adjust 1, nothing happens because I need to select mixer in this control area here. And you can see this LED is lit, letting us know that we are currently using the instrument setting. So I'll go ahead and click and change that to mixer, adjust the knob here, and we can see that we are now in control of our faders. 1 through 4 here, and this just continues on through 8 if we had 8, but I've only got 6 here. Now we also have this fader here. I'm going to skip ahead a bit. This is going to control the currently active channel. So right now we have this impact stereo 1. So if I go ahead and move that, then we have control. If I select the master channel, we can then control that, and this would be probably a more convenient way to use this if we are doing some mixing, because we already have control over the individual channels with these pots here. So keeping the main channel selected, or at least whenever we'd like to adjust it, and then just using the fader will allow us to do that. Now the pots also serve a second purpose, and we can control oscillators, cutoff, filter resonance, envelope amount, LFO with these as well. That's a bit beyond this video, but we can control that with these if we'd like. We have a page area here for choosing between default and user settings. And next to that we have a LCD. And as we've always seen, just below that we have an area for choosing mixer, instrument, and preset. So if I were to F3 and close out our console, and then let me open up the My Tai, we are currently on the chill wave pad. If I change this to instrument, and then below that we have patch, we can then navigate between the various patches that are available within our VSTs. And I'm actually going to go ahead and close out the My Tai and open up the mixer again, just to show that I'm going to select mixer. We also have track, forward, and back, so we can navigate between our different tracks with these buttons here. And all of the buttons feel pretty solid on this device. The pots feel decent. The overall build quality, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it feels pretty good. I mean, for $100, this is actually an incredible amount of functionality that you're getting here, and everything feels pretty solid for that cost. Now, finally, in this area here, we have a shift and mute button, and we've seen how the shift works. So shift allows us to access some of these additional settings that lie below the buttons and pots. The mute is actually going to mute MIDI information from being sent into your DAW if you press and hold. And here we have our fader again, and we've already taken a look at that. This feels pretty decent here. Below that we have octave up and down for changing octaves on our 25 keys. We have transpose, and then we have our pitch and mod wheels. If I go ahead and come back to the My Tai, then we can see that we have control down below here. And these are going to be set right out of the box as long as you install the integration files with the particular DAW that you are working with. And that's a fairly straightforward process. If you're using Studio One and you would like to see how to set up your LX keyboard, I do have a tutorial. You can watch that. I'll put a link here. It is for the original LX25 model, not the Plus, but the setup is going to be exactly the same for the most part. Now the LX25 Plus is class compliant, so you don't need any drivers to use it. You can use it as a general MIDI keyboard just simply by plugging it into your computer or laptop, and you'll be all set. You'll just need to map the controls on your own if you're not going to use the integration files that come with the different DAWs. The LX25 is also bus powered, so you don't have to worry about having an additional power cable. It's a lot cleaner just to have one running into your computer. On the back of the device, we do have a power switch for turning on and off. There is an input, a 1/4 inch input for a sustain pedal. We've got our USB connection, and we also have an area for installing a Kensington lock to secure the keyboard. And so this has been a brief overview of some of the functions that are contained within the LX25 Plus. I hope that it's been helpful if you're trying to make a decision on which MIDI keyboard to purchase. I've used the Nektar keyboards for a while now, and I'm always happy with the quality. I haven't had any problems with them. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and I'll try to get back with you. And thank you for watching.